Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special stus. With David Henach Mordechai and Frida Simcha. We're going to be discussing the din of Ger Toshav, Bi-zman Hazeh. Is there such a thing as Ger Toshav, Bi-zman Hazeh? We're going to be basing this in Sefer Shutziach Nachum. The Rambam writes in Ovos Malachim, Perek Pesach, Halacha Aleph, Al Shisha Dvarim, and Stav Adam Arishon, Al Zara, Al Berkas Hashem, Al Shvichus Damim, Al Gira Rayos, Al Gezel, Al Dinim, Posif L'Noach Eder Menachai, Shneimar Ach Basar B'Nav Shadam, Al Sochelu, Nimtza Sheva Mitzvah. So we have here a list of the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Noach. Earlier on, the Rambam establishes Pesach Aleph, Kolam Kavos, Sheva Mitzvahs B'Nisrael Asosan, Arezim Mechasidei Unos Ha'olam. Anybody who accepts Sheva mitzvahs and is careful to do them, this person is Mechasidei Umos Ha'olam, and he has a chelek in Olam Haba. However, before this he establishes the Hamakabel Osan, Hu Hanikol Ger Toshav B'chol Makom. Tzarech L'Kabel Av B'fnei Shlosha Chavei. Somebody who accepts these Sheva mitzvahs is called a Ger Toshav, and he has to accept them in front of 3 good Jews. The question is, are the concepts of Ger Toshav and Chassid Umas Ha'olam identical? Or maybe there's a difference between them. And if that's the case, then what distinguishes between them? So this emerges clearly from the continuation of the Rambam. The Rambam says, if somebody keeps the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Noach, then he's Mechasidei Umas Ha'olam. V'hushia kabel osam v'yasa osam mipnei shetzivah b'hem HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Torah v'hodienu al-yedei Moshe Rabbeinu shebnei Noach mikodem nitzdavu b'hem aval im ha'asam mipnei ha'kol ha'adas ein ze ger toshav ve'einu mechasidei umas ha'olam ela v'chachmeim some have a lo v'chachmeim. The Torah Ger says ela michachmeim. So if a person keeps these mitzvahs because it was given in the Torah and was told to us by Moshe Rabbeinu, then he has the status of chasidei umas ha'olam. He does them because of his own intellectual inclinations, decisions. He's not a Ger Toshav, and he's not Mechasidei Umas Ha'olam. Rather, he is Mechachmeim, from the wise ones. So we have a clear distinction between 3 concepts. We have a Ger Toshav, we have a Chasid Umas Ha'olam, and then we have a Chacham Me'umas. So look, Orla, we would think that maybe Ger Toshav is somebody who's makabel upon himself the mitzvahs, but hasn't yet fulfilled them. And when he fulfills them, then he becomes a chassid umas ha'olam. The Rambam defines a chassid as follows: Kol makabel sheva mitzvahs, v'nizhar la'asosam. He accepts the sheva mitzvahs and he's careful to perform them. This is in contrast to a Ger Toshav. There, the Rambam only says hamakabel osam. Maybe the Ger Toshav is somebody who's Mekabel, and the Chassid is somebody who's Mekabel and then does them. However, if that's the case, could it be that if he does them in the Pnei Hachrei Hadas, he does them because of his own decision, his own das, that's going to be Mevatel, his Kabbalah, in front of 3 Chaverim, for which he becomes a Ger Toshav? Could it be that after he becomes a Ger Toshav, and he's Mekabel Kados V'Kedin, Sheva mitzvahs, now his geirus is going to be misbatel because he didn't have the right kavanah and he was kind in mitzvahs. Very difficult to accept. So it's clear then that the distinction between Ger Toshav and Chasidei Umas Ha'olam requires an explanation. In addition, there's another problem. In a number of places, the Rambam says, "Ein mekabel Ger Toshav ela b'zman she'ayovel noed, aval shelo b'zman she'ayovel, ein mekabel ela ger tzedek bilvad." We're only Mekabel Ger Toshav when he's Yovel. But if it's not Yovel, we're only Mekabel Ger Tzedek. So, already there are a number of steers of this halacha that we're only Mekabel Ger Toshav as much as Yovel Noed. And hopefully, if we on the Yasha of the steers, we can come to a full definition of a Ger Toshav, and then we can make a distinction between the Ger Toshav and the Chasid Umas Ha'olam. So first, let's discuss the steeros to the assertion of the Rambam that you should not be makabel a Ger Toshav Bi-zman Hazeh. When the Rambam talks about a Ger Tzedek who regretted his actions, he passes in Ochos Malachim, Perek Yud, Halacha Gimel as follows: then Noach Shemizgayer, and Mo V'Tava, Ve'achar Kach Rotza Lachzor Me'achorei Hashem. Then Noach was Israel, and then he did Milah, and he did Tefillah, and then he wants to stop keeping the mitzvahs of Hashem and to be a Ger Toshav, only a Ger Toshav. Ein Shomin Lo. We don't listen to him. Leo's Ger Toshav Uvad Shekishayim Mikodem, to be a Ger Toshav that he was before. We don't listen to him. Vim Haya Katan should be also Bi-zman, and if he was a Katan when the Bi-zman is not through him, Yochol Limchos B'Shash Yudda, he can protest and he becomes a Gadol. V'yiyah Ger Toshav B'Vad, and then he will be only a Ger Toshav. Kevin Shalom Micha B'Shaito, Shuleinu Menachal Areu Ger Tzedek. And since he wasn't Mocha, he didn't protest at the right time, then he becomes a Ger Tzedek, or a Katan has the option of this of being Mocha when he becomes a Gadol of protesting. Then he becomes a Ger Toshav. But if Ben Noach is Mitzgayer or Mo V'Toval, and then he doesn't want to be any more Jew, he wants to be a Ger Toshav, we don't listen to him. So the beginning of this halacha, the Ch'ora, is difficult to understand. Are we talking about a special case of a Ben Noach that first became a Ger Toshav, and then afterwards became a Ger Tzedek, and therefore he wants to go back and be a Ger Toshav, Kishahaya Mikodem, like he was earlier, Koloshon Rambam? If that's the case, this can only be when there is Yova. So, how did the Rambam not tell us this? That this is only when it's Yova. And then the Rambam just continues, in Katan Shekivu Beis-din, the Katan that was immersed by the Beis-din, and he doesn't explain that there's a fundamental difference in his din between Zman Sha'ayova Moed and Bein Hazman Hazeh. The Rambam leaves us in the dark, so to speak. He talks about this inyan of being a Ger Toshav, and he doesn't tell us anything about the fact that it's only Bi-zman Hazeh. It's only Bi-zman Sha'ayova Moed and not Bi-zman Hazeh. He goes right on to the din of Katan. And if we say that the Rambam is talking Bi-zman Hazeh, then that would bring us to a great chiddush. What chiddush would that be? That chiddush would be that there's a possibility that first somebody can be a Ger Toshav and then a Ger Tzedek, even Bi-zman Hazeh. How can this be? And we see in the Sefer also, Katan that was Misgayer, Al Das Beis-din, the Higdil Umicha, he gets older, he protests. What's his status? He's a Ger Toshav, the Rambam says. This also requires explanation. How is it possible Bi-zman Hazeh? Not only that, there was no Kabbalah. When he was a Katan, his Kabbalah is not a Kabbalah. And when he's a Gadol, the Rambam doesn't say he needs a Kabbalah at all. So, in the time of the Rambam, there was still Eved Kananis in the world. And in the Tshuvas HaGaonim, there are numerous discussions on the status of these Avodim. In the Ikar Adin, if somebody buys an Eved Kanani, he has to circumcise him. And through this, he brings him a little bit to Kedushas Yisrael, that he should be mischayev in certain mitzvahs. Sometimes the Eved refuses to be circumcised. What's his din? So, the Rambam writes in Hilchos Avadim, Perek Ches Halacha Yud Beis, Hakona Eved min Hagoy Stam, V'lo Ratza Lamu V'lakabel Mitzvahs Avadim, Megalgal in Imo Kol Shnei L'Asar Chodesh. If somebody buys an Eved from a guy, and he doesn't want to circumcise and accept the mitzvahs of Avadim that women have to do, Jewish women have to do, so we're Megalgal, we roll around with him, we dreitzich mit for 12 months, and in Lo Ratza, if he still doesn't want to, then we sell him to Goyim or we sell him to Chutz La'aretz. And if the Eved was Masna Alav B'chila Shelo Yamo, Hareza Mutter L'Kaimo Kol Zman Sheyirtza B'Giyuso, V'mocho L'Goyim or L'Chutz La'aretz. He made it tonight that he shouldn't circumcise. You're allowed to keep him as long as he wants to be a guy. and then sell him to Goyim and Chutz La'aretz. Is this halacha l'maisa? The Rambam didn't mention any limits. So it looks like this always applies. The only thing is there's a difficulty here. In Hisna, Eved alav tchila shelo yamol, areza muter l'kaimo kol zman sheyirtze b'giyusa. So Eved made it tonight that he's not going to circumcise. You're allowed to keep him as long as he wants to remain a goy. What does it mean, b'giyusa? Does it mean that he's going to continue being Oved Avodah Zarah? Is it mutter for a Jew to allow in his home an Oved Avodah Zarah looking up at Malachim Karchas Allah Hatzes? We don't like Oved Avodah Zarah. We don't like to keep him around. So to have this Oved Avodah Zarah in his house. So apparently, what the Rambam omitted here in Hilchos Avadim, the Rambam specified in Hilchos Mila. The Rambam writes there, Lokach Eved Gadol min haGoyim v'lo ratz Eved Lamo megalgal imo kol shnei asar chodesh. The person takes a big Eved from the Goyim, and the Eved doesn't want to circumcise. So we roll around with him literally 12 months. Yeser al kain asur l'kaimo kshu areh. Not only that, moreover, it is now you're not allowed to keep him when he's an areh. Or chozer mochel haGoyim. And you go and you sell him to Goyim. And hisna alav mitchila. The first he made it tonight. V'hu eitzel rabo hagoy shelo yamol oso. And he's with his Gentile owner, master, that he's not going to be circumcised. Muter l'kaimo v'orlo v'vad shikav alav sheva mitzvahs. V'yireh keger toshav. Ve'mekabim ger toshav elav bizman shayovel noeh. The Rambam here tells us that you're allowed to be mekayim him is that he's going to remain in Orel, that he's not going to circumcise, that he must become a ger toshav. And we're only makabel ger toshav bizman shayovel noeh. So is what it says in Hilchos Avadim the same as what he's saying in Hilchos Mila, and what he wasn't Megala in Hilchos Avadim. He was Megala in Hilchos Mila, and in Hilchos Avadim he relied on the fact that we're going to learn Hilchos Mila, which come earlier, and we're going to know that we're talking about somebody who is Makabel upon himself to Sheva Mitzvah. So it emerges then that we're talking about an Eved that first made it tonight that he's not going to circumcise, so you're allowed to keep him only if he's Makabel of Sheva Mitzvahs. L'cha'ora, this din is possible only b'zman sheyovel noeg. And that's the Rambam writes in the Hilchos Mila. But if that's the case, then the kasha becomes bigger. And Hilchos Avadim, which is the ikar makom of this halacha, is not even an allusion to the fact that this din is only shayach b'zman sheyovel noeg. This din that he mentioned in Hilchos Avadim, that he can make it tonight to remain a guy. Doesn't even allude to the fact that it's only talking about b'zman sheyovel noeg. And there it's mashma l'shanu astamis shedin ze amar la'olam. This is always said. So this is the Rambam is really misleading us then in Hilchos Avadim. And he doesn't tell us that it's only talking about Bizman Sheyovel Noeg. Agam in the time of the Rambam they were Avadim Kanani. The Rambam should have told us that this is talking about where it becomes a Ger Toshav. And again, how do you become a Ger Toshav in the time of the Rambam? No Yovel. There are other dikdukim in these halachas. If we assume that these halachas are identical, they're talking about the same mitzias. So when he writes in Hilchos Avadim, muter l'kaimo b'giyuso, it's parallel to what he says in Hilchos Mila, muter l'kaimo u'bilvad sheyikabel olav sheva mitzvos v'yiyeh keger toshav. If we understand that a ger toshav is also called a goy, so then l'ch'ora, the Rambam is soser what he writes in Hilchos Yain Nesach. Rambam Hilchos Yain Nesach writes Machol Sus Ya'alef Ches B'chol Mokom Shenemar Goy Stam Harei Oved Avodah Zarah. So how can it be that the Rambam says Mutar L'Kaimo B'Giyuso, you're allowed to be Mekayim as a goy? If that's what the Rambam said in Hilchos Mila, U'vat Yikabel of Sheva Mitzvahs Yeh Kiger Toshav, provided that he's Mekabel of Sheva Mitzvahs, and he'll be like a Ger Toshav, so that means that a Ger Toshav is called a goy. But the Rambam in Hilchos Ma'acholos Asuros says that a Ger Toshav is an Oved Avodah Zarah, that a goy is an Oved Avodah Zarah. A Ger Toshav is not is called a goy stam. A goy stam is an Oved Avodah Zarah. So how can the Rambam say then, if he's talking about a Ger Toshav, B'Giyusa? Not only that, the Rambam writes mutter lekaimo and hilchos milah, u'ravad shekabel al sheva mitzvahs v'yeh ki ger toshav. It will be like a ger toshav. So, which one is it? A ger toshav or like a ger toshav? It's only like a ger toshav. So, the solution to these difficulties is revealed in an equation we can make to a parallel halacha in Hilchos Isurei Bia. Perak Ydalet halacha tes. Ha'eved hanukach min hagoyim. Ein omrim lo mara isa shabasa. Ela omrim lo ritzoncha shevikanes leklal avdei Yisrael v'tiyah min haksherim o lo. Im ratza modiin lo ikarei hadas. And matbilin also kigir. An eved that's bought from the goyim. We don't say to him, why did you want to come? We say to him, do you want to enter into the cloud of Abdei Yisrael and be Menachsherim or not? If he wants, we tell him the primary principles of our religion, and Matbilan also Kagir, we put him in Mikvah like a ger. V'im lo ratza l'kabel, if he doesn't want to accept. Megalgalin olav kol shnei masar chodesh, we wait 12 months, then we sell him to the goyim, and then we're not allowed to keep him more than that, the Rambam says. V'im hisnei mo metchila shelo yomo v'lo yitpol el yeh kagir toshav. And at first we make a tanai that he's not allowed to do milah, and he's not allowed to do. If he makes a tanai that he's not going to do milah, and he's not going to do tefillah, he's going to be kigir toshav, like a ger toshav. Mutter lekaymo b'avodaso, kishuhu ger toshav, ve'ein lekayim en evet kazeh, ela Bi-zman hayova. You're allowed to keep him as a ger toshav, but this is only when the yovel is noheg. It's muchach then that the din that the Rambam said in Hilchos Isurei Bia is not the same din that the Rambam says in Hilchos Avadim. What we just read was from the Rambam in Isurei Bia, Yud Tes. This is not the same din that we read before from the Rambam in Hilchos Malachim. In Hilchos Isurei Bia, the Rambam is talking about a goy ben chorim, sheba midato miritzonu. He comes of his own volition to sell himself to a Jew. Eved hanilkach min hagoyim means Eved, that's from the goyim, not that his master sold him. So when the master sold him, there it's more mat'im to say, like the Rambam says in Hilchos Avadim, hakona Eved min hagoy. So that's the difference then between Isurei Bia and Hilchos Avadim. In Hilchos Isurei Bia, the Rambam is talking about an Eved who sold himself. In Hilchos Avadim, the Rambam is talking about an Eved who was sold by his master. In Hilchos Isurei Bia, it says, Ein omen lo mara isa shabasa. In Hilchos Isurei Bia, it says, we don't say to him, why did you come? If we were talking about an Eved, a nickname, the Adam Goy, who was bought from his Gentile master, why would we ask him such a mudnik shaila, such a weird question? Did he come on his own? His master sold him? Ela barur, she'adin b'hilchot Isurei Bia musav al goy hamocher et atzmo. So in Isurei Bia, we're talking about a goy who sells himself, and he makes a tanai that he wants to be a ger toshav, and he only wants to be mischayev b'sheva mitzvahs, v'lo ka'abdei Yisrael, hamischayvin b'mor mitzvahs. Avdei Yisrael are mischayvin. All mitzvahs women are mischayvin. So in Isurei Bia, he's selling himself, and he wants to be a ger toshav. He only wants to be mekayim the mitzvahs of a ger toshav. In Hilchos Avadim, we're talking about somebody who was sold by a goy, and who would then be chayev to keep all the mitzvahs. This din in Isurei Bia is a direct continuation of what it says in the previous halacha on a ger toshav stam. First, the Rambam brings din goy ben chorim harotzeh liyot ger toshav mamash shehu ben chorim. First, the Rambam brings the din of a stam ger toshav, who's a free man, stam a free man who wants to become a ger toshav, and then he brings the din of a goy who wants to be a ger toshav, and be Mishtabed Yisrael. And on that the Rambam says, She'ein Mekayim in Eved Kozeh, Ela Bi-zman HaYovel. We're only Mekayim this Eved in the time of Yovel. Just like we're not Mekabel, Bi-zman Hazeh, Ger Toshav, who wants to remain a Ben Chorin. That's the Rambam in Halacha Ches. So too, Ein Mekabel Ger Toshav, Afilu Hu Rotze Lios Eved. So too, we're not Mekabel Ger Toshav, even if he wants to be an Eved. So that is the Rambam in Isurei Biyah. The Rambam is talking about a Ger Toshav. Somebody wants to become a Ger Toshav. So you want your free man that wants to become a Ger Toshav? Sorry, can't do it. You're an Eved who wants to become a Ger Toshav? Sorry. You want to become an Eved who's a Ger Toshav? You want to become an Eved who's a Ger Toshav? Sorry, you can't do it, because it's only Bi-zman Shehayovel no Heg. However, in Hilchos Avodim, the Rambam writes in Furish, Hakona Eved Min HaGoy. Such an Eved has no Bechira, he's not coming to himself by himself to the Jew. So his Gentile master sold him to the Jew Ba'Kofa Shel Eved. Ela Shebezeh Dino She'Eved Yachol Lehatnot Be'et HaMechira Shelo Yamod. So the din is that the Eved can make a Tanai at the time of the sale that he's not going to do Bris Milah. V'im Hisna Eved Tchila Shelo Yamod Harezim Muter L'Kaimo. So we're allowed to keep this Eved if he made a Tanai. That's the Rambam in Hilchos Avodim. We're allowed to keep the Eved if he made a Tanai that he's not going to perform the Bris Milah. Now in Hilchos Milah, there are two cases. First, the Rambam says, Lokach Eved Gadol Min HaGoyim. In other words, the Eved himself is Min HaGoyim, and it could be that he sold himself, or it could be that his master, the Goy, sold him. And then the Rambam writes that there is a din that is noeg only the Eved who is bought from his master, the Goy. And the Rambam is explicit about this. The Rambam writes, V'im hitna alav mitchila v'hu eitzel rabo hagoy. If he made a Tanai, and he's by his Gentile master, muter lekaimo ubilvad sheyikabel olav sheva mitzvos v'yeh kiger toshav. You're allowed to keep him, provided he keeps the sheva mitzvos, and he'll be like a ger toshav. This Tanai is effective only if he makes this Tanai at the time of the sale, when he is still with his Gentile master. But after the sale, this Tanai can no longer be made. If he makes this Tanai when he's with his master, this Goy has the status of a Ger Toshav. Ki Ger Toshav. He is like a Ger Toshav, but he's not Mamish a Ger Toshav. Shaharei. Ger Toshav Mamash, Eino Elamishimit Orer Me Atzmo Balehit Gayer. A Ger Toshav Mamish is somebody who on his own decided that he wants to be Misgayer. Masha Enkin, what we're talking about in Hilchos Milah, where the Eved was Nikne Min Hagoy, Lo Me Atzmo Ba, V'lo Ger Toshav, who he was bought from this Gentile master. He's not coming on his own. He can't have the status of a Ger Toshav. But just since it's usher for a Jew to have in his home somebody who is not Makabel, the Sheva Mitzvahs, Ein Meinichim Oso Ela In Kain Makabel Olav Shiekem O Ger Toshav V'inyan HaMitzvahs. So we don't allow him to stay with the Jew unless he's Makabel himself to be like a Ger Toshav with regard to keeping mitzvahs. If this person agrees to keep the mitzvahs. Not only that, but he's a Ger Toshav only when he's within the house of a Jew. Avali Macho HaYisrael Adon Goy. Let's say the Jew sold him to a Gentile master. It could be that he can go back and serve. He can go back and serve idols. He was never a Ger Toshav. Klal ha'olem izeh. What is the rule that comes out from this? That this Eved is not Makabel mitzvahs, as the Rambam writes in Ochos Malachim Chesed Aleph, V'pnei shetziva behen HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Torah, v'hodiyanu ha'yidei Moshe Rabbeinu, shebnei Noach mikodem nitztavu behen. He is not Makabel mitzvahs because God commanded us in the Torah, and He told us through Moshe Rabbeinu that Bnei Noach were commanded earlier. His whole Kabbalah is because his Jewish master has imposed this upon him. And for him, the mitzvahs are part and parcel of the Avdus. And therefore, he is only ki ger Toshav, but he is not a ger Toshav mamish. And that's what the Rambam writes in Hilchos Malachim. And that's what the Rambam writes, in Hilchos Avodim, bigiyuso. Bigiyuso, that he remains, that he made this Tanai, that he is not going to circumcise, and he remains bigiyuso. Who is he? He is a goy who is not Oved Avodah Zarah. But he still hasn't gone out of the status of being a goy. He's still a goy. He's not a full ger Toshav, because he's just, he's agreeing to stay with his master. It's being forced on him, but not because of any deep belief in Torah Sinai. So we still have to explain why this Tanai is effective only in an Eved that's acquired from a goy, and not with a goy who sells himself. At the beginning of the halacha, the Rambam spoke about both. At the beginning, in Hilchos Milah, that's what we've been discussing the last few minutes. We've been discussing Lokach Eved Gadol Min Hagoyim. Could be he sold himself, and it could be that he was sold by his Gentile master. And then the Rambam continues and he says, who can make this Tanai? Who Eitzel Rabo Hagoy? Only if he was being sold and he's still with his Gentile master, then he can make this Tanai. Why is this Tanai only effective if he is bought from the Goy, and not if the Goy sells himself? Therefore, the Rambam continues and he explains that Bi-zman Hazeh, you can only keep an Eved shehu ki ger Toshav, that he is like a ger Toshav. Because such a person, we are not makabel him. Adarabba, we are forcing upon him Avdus. This is like what the Rambam paskins in Hilchos Malachim Yud Gimel. The katan should be lu based in. What does the Rambam say? Yochel limchos b'isha yagdil v'yeh ger Toshav bilvad. So now he could be mocheh, and then he remains a ger Toshav because they already converted him to be a Jew. So now he goes back to being a ger Toshav. So, but somebody who comes to us that we should accept him, we should receive him, and he'll be a ger Toshav. Whether he's a Ben Chorim or whether he's Meshubad Yisrael, Ein Mekavlim Ela Bi-zman Shayovel Noeg. So it emerges like this. Even when the Yovel is not Noeg, there is a sug of Me'ein Ger Toshav. There is this category of somebody who is like a Ger Toshav. Who is that? Eved Shehu Ki Ger Toshav. This Eved who is sold, he is like a ger Toshav. In addition to this, we also have the ger Toshav mamish. It seems even Bi-zman Hazeh, and that's the Rambam, Perek Yud Halacha Gimel and Hilchos Malachim, where he says that if somebody who became a proper ger, and now he wants to go away from Hashem and be a ger Toshav, bilvad kishahaya mikodem, we don't listen to him. rather he remains a Jew. So you see that he was a ger toshav mikodem. And the Rambam continues and talks about a katan, that a katan also can be a ger toshav bizman hazeh. If he was a katan, he should be lu based in, and then he wants to be mocha when he becomes a gadol, that he doesn't want to be a full-fledged Jew. So what does he do? He becomes a ger toshav. Be a ger toshav buvad. The Rambam doesn't say go around, it doesn't say ki ger toshav, it says ger toshav. And this katan is also like the eved that was sold. That the eved that was sold is sort of forced into it. And this katan also, he doesn't really have that option. So we have the ki ger toshav. That's when the Adam sells his eved to a Jew, he has to become a ki ger toshav. And then we have, but he's still really a guy. He's not an absolute ger toshav. He's like the mipnei hachrei adas person. And then we have the ger toshav, or the Rambam again. The Rambam in Hilchos Malachim doesn't say anything about Yovel. And there we have this ger toshav of the person who was a ger toshav and was misgayer, and the katan who doesn't want to accept upon himself full Judaism, the ger katan who doesn't want to accept upon himself and he becomes a gadol full Judaism. So he also becomes a ger toshav, but he can't go back being a goy gamor. So we still have more to explain, but Baruch Hashem, we broke some ground in this sugya. We saw various Rambams. There's a lot to be mefalpel here, but we will conclude now and give ourselves a bracha that we should continue in Mirz Hashem, explaining in the next shir, and then come to some sort of havana l'maisa, and hope that we should be zochel lilmod u'lelamed l'ishma v'lasos, or the time is called divrei samu terasa v'hava, and to remember that self davra kol nishma es Elohim yira es mitzvos of shmor ki zeh kol adam shalom shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.